Hi, this is Ross Tietze with NextFitnessEvolution.com. Today I'd like to teach you how to burst train. Now there's a lot of information floating around on the internet and in the gyms of America that's trying to teach you how to do proper burst training. All right, if you do proper burst training, you will reach very high intense heart rate zones. Upwards about 85% of your heart rate reserve. That's using the Carbonin formula, and that's on our website if you want to find out what your heart rate should be at 85%. Now, you can also use rate of perceived exertion. That means this should be about an intensity level, about a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10. That's pretty high. So if you're going to choose a method, make sure it's a safe method. Not everyone can run up a 10-degree hill. You might want to stay with just some boxing in the air, some jump rope, or some squat presses. All right? Let's get outside into the gym and actually show you a burst and give you a little bit better explanation of what's going on. Now I'm on the treadmill. That's my mode of choice. I put it up to a 10-degree incline because that's going to get me into my heart rate that I want to be in. All right? It's going to get me into that high-intensity workload. Now you can use heart rate. I do have a heart rate monitor on, and I may get it up to about 170, which is about 85% of my heart rate reserve. I may not. And that's okay if you don't. It's more about how you feel while you're working out. So my incline is set at 10. I've been properly warmed up. I've done dynamic warm-ups, specific stretching for running up hills. Now I'm going to put the speed up. I'm going to go at about 7.5 at 10-degree incline, but it's going to vary for everyone. And if the treadmill running is not for you, you can sprint outside, you can go on a bike, and we'll give you other variations for that in a second. All right, so as soon as it gets up to speed, I just go right into the run for 60 seconds. While you're running, you'll notice it might start off pretty easy, but it should get hard. We have something called a talk test when we're measuring exercise. By the end of your burst, you will fail the talk test. You will not be able to talk. And you can already hear me starting to huff and puff, which is exactly what we want. Now remember, you can use a bike, you can use a spin bike, you can jump rope. Okay? You can box. You can do squat presses. All of these different modes, as I become more and more out of breath, are great for getting the heart rate up really high. I'm up to 154 right now. And I'm just about at 60 seconds. And I'm about to tell the talk. And you can see, I reached about 158 beats, which is not my 85%, but it is a high workload. Where there I was probably around an 8. On my next burst, I would go up a little bit higher. Now, if you want to use heart rate and you have a polar heart rate monitor, bring yourself down to about 40%. For me, that'll be about 105 beats. When I get down to 105 beats, within 3 minutes this should happen. When I get down to 105 beats, I'm going to put it right back up again. It's a little more scientific. You'll get better results. And I highly encourage you to keep notes on your training. That's one of the best ways to get really good results. And you see, I'm still out of breath. My heart rate's up, still 125 beats a minute. I'm walking at 2.0 with no incline, and I'm still out of breath. All right? It's a very effective way of training. I will repeat these cycles for about 20 minutes. You could go a little bit longer, but all the benefits have been shown in research with 20 minutes. So as soon as my heart rate comes back down, which is approaching, it's dropping really quick. And that's a good sign. If your heart rate drops quick, that's a really good sign. So as soon as you get back to 105, I will go again. If you want to use time, you can go 1 minute high, and you can go 2, 3, even up to 4 minutes low. If you've never done this before, I recommend taking a longer recovery time. It's really all about getting that good recovery, all right, and not working hard while you do it. All right, we're tapping into the anaerobic phases of muscle energy work, and that can make a big difference in your cardiovascular health and how the way you expend fat the rest of the day. All right, you will expend more calories from glucose as a substrate than you will fatty acids. Okay, but don't worry about that because the second you're done with this, your metabolism will be raised for a day or two. And And that just doesn't happen with endurance training. All right, so I'm back at 105. We're covering pretty good. I think we're at around 2 minutes. I'm going to bring it back up to 10, and I'm going to go to another burst. Because I like burst training. I'm sure you will now too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Buddy, who's gold? Awesome words, I'm too smart. Young black man, not on any curves. But I like them with the curves. Maybe from the hood and maybe from the burbs. Before I was embedded in the fog. Now people address me in their blogs. And I never dog care, yeah, I rock this shit for y'all, hey. So when you see me, salute. This for all the haters that ain't really give a hoot. If I'm not dope, I'm a horse for two. And no homeboy, I don't aim for the loot. But I aim for change within the crap game. I'm in the rap game with so many names. Some official, some are like poo-poo. Who I issue with you, what the fuck? Do you understand your position, pimpin'? All we hear about is sex and pitching. Past the lesson, we need to switch it.
Now as you can see, burst training is extremely intense. All right, but does give you a lot of time to recover. There's many forms of exercise that keep your heart rate sustained, that get you up there and really get you working hard the entire time you're working out. This is not like that. We get you up for 1 minute and we bring you down for about 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. If you use heart rate, you can get up for 1 minute at an extremely high work zone of about 85% or an RP of 9 on a scale of 1 to 10. You would then recover down to about 40% of your heart rate reserve, and once you hit that number, you would go right back up again. All right, you want your recovery intervals to be about 2 or 3 minutes. Use common sense, pick a mode that works for you, and give it a shot. It will help to raise the positive hormones that help you build and maintain muscle mass in the body, which is the best way to stay lean. So for nextfitnessevolution.com, I'm Ross Tietze, and enjoy your burst training.